My name is Alan Lockhart. I'm the Forage Technical Specialist for ForFarmers. Forage plays a central role in all ruminant diets. We have to think of it that a cow is a fibre digester, and so high quality forage is really important. We should be looking at feeding probably upwards on 50 or 60% of her diet in terms of forages, whether that be grass silage or alternative forages such as whole crops and maize silage. Land is a finite resource, and farmers are consistently being told that we need to be more efficient. If we're going to grow crops, and I want to stress here that grass is a crop, they are really vital to what we're trying to achieve here on farm. And if we're going to grow these crops, we need to grow as many tons as possible, and we need to feed as many of those tons as possible. In order to do that, we have to get everything right from the start. When we're looking at selecting forages for feeding on farm, ultimately what we have to look for is, what's your cow type? What are we feeding for? Are we feeding that lower input herd? Are we feeding that higher yielding animal with a much higher energy requirement? We're also looking at the basics, your location. Can you actually grow maize on your farm? Would whole crop be a better option? Do I have enough land, or do I need to contract some of those forages in? All of those actually fit into the individuality of each farm, and that's what makes each farm really different. As an agronomist, it's important for me when working with my customers that we basically start from the ground up. Walk the fields, grab that soil analysis, find out where we are in terms of nutrient status, and then we build a picture. We start looking at the manures on the farms, and again we can analyse those. In order to grow good quality forages, it's very difficult to go all towards manure and not rely on some of the other essential bag nutrients. We really do need to be looking at slurries in conjunction with fertilizers. We need to try and raise the protein in those forages, and as part of that, what we're trying to do is create mixtures that can be grown on farm to incorporate red clovers, so that we're actually increasing the protein in that diet rather than shipping it in from more expensive sources. What I do like to talk about is crop rotation and how important that is. Farmers do tend to like to grow their crops in the one field, the field that's closest to the manure pit, the field that's closest to the farm, and that poses its own problems. For example, if we grow maize continually in the one field, or we're growing grass continually and then we put that into maize, we're having issues with things like wireworm. I try and encourage my farmers to practice good crop rotations, to build up the nutrient status of their land by using manure sources, building up that organic matter, moving around the farm, soil testing on a regular basis. For me, the use of inoculant is really putting the icing on a cake. It's the finishing touch, but it definitely won't make poor forage into good forage. We have to carefully manage the growing of that crop right through until the day of harvest to try and produce the crops then that we're looking to feed on farm.